Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nazi Zombie Armour Trilogy, the game that has the most pointless gun in all time that it makes David Cameron look more useful. Like, look at this. 1, 2, 3. 3 shots at 2. It should have took 2, not 3. Oh, it's so inaccurate, and it has 15 bullets. Like, the amount of shots that I could have got with this. No, I could have got. I should have got and killed someone. Makes me want to go kill myself. If you're going to use anything, you're going to use the Grand, the Thompson and the Luger. And if you don't want that, you're going to use the Lee Enfield, the Thompson and the Luger. And while on this area, I love the intros that they give. Oh, they're so good. It just kind of reminds me of Morgan Freeman and David Cameron, like a white Morgan Freeman. Oh.
The Nazi zombie menace continues unabated. Supernatural forces taunt your every move. Your successful escape from Berlin proves to be only temporary.
Well, in this particular video, I'm going to show you how a sniper should be, and I'm going to use the Grand, the Thompson and the Luger. So, let's see how it works, eh? Let's see how a sniper should be. The zombies themselves aren't that bad, but there's a few annoying fuckers, kinda like the sniper zombie here, that just rape your health away. Like in particular, the sniper zombie rapes your health away like none other. It's not the worst one because they can be sniped and it's not entirely that hard, but speaking of annoying fuckers, let's look at the next one, shall we? These annoying fuckers, which you'll see in a minute, rape away your health. At least they only take a swipe with your foot to kill. Kinda like this guy. Now speaking of annoying fuckers, look at my favourite one. This annoying fucker, armed with an MG42 and a helmet that is impenetrable to explosions and bullets, will mow you down like none other. It's worse than the sniper zombie, it's worse than the skeletons, and it's worse than any other guardian, which is what he is ever. And it's really annoying because he's got pinpoint accuracy as well. And by the way, the kill cam isn't from him, it's from him. It went through the guardian. Unfortunately, this guy took forever to come out during the video, so I had to get him basically when I shot him a few times. But anyway, this Guardian is probably one of the easiest ones to kill. He's still a wee bit of a nuisance because he spawns zombies, and when they hit you, they die and they take a wee bit of your health away. But he's the easiest one to kill because after every time he throws one of his fireballs or he summons more zombies, he goes into this cooldown phase, which you'll see in a minute here. He goes into that cooldown phase where he loses his light and he goes into like a slouch, and every time you shoot him, eventually he will die and do that. But the most annoying part is there's a trophy to get where you loot one of them, and they never like keep the body there, so it's annoying. But you have to shoot him about 6 times, and every time that he goes into his cooldown phase, he stops and he goes into that slops, and you can shoot him 2 times, which makes him the easiest one to kill. The Summoner Zombie, which is another Guardian, is also a very simple one, as after he summons his zombies, he goes into this like agony, and you can just snipe him in the head, which is very useful and very easy. Also worth mentioning here, at the very end of the game, Hitler, which is Zombie Hitler, is actually a summoner as well. The only difference is he's got the Impaler, which you find out in the end of the game, is basically like the large version of himself. Whoever controls it, they have their image shaped onto him. So I'll show a picture just after this, and I'll show you what he looks like. But basically, Hitler goes into that cooldown stage as well, and at the very end, like, you chuck him in the hole. So yeah, that's also worth mentioning, that Hitler's basically a Guardian zombie as well. Last but not least is the Occult General. The Occult General is one of the easier ones as well, because you only find him in 3 missions, unlike the other Guardians. He's more of a boss than a Guardian, but I'm classing him as a Guardian because he's pretty simple as well, and he does the same things as them. He won't attack you at all. His method of attack actually is just spawning zombies. He spawns in on 3 levels. This mission, which is Chapter 1 Level 2, which is, as I said, the one I'm showing you, he spawns in on the last level as well, at the very end, when you leave Berlin. And he spawns on the very end of Chapter 2, when the Americans or British or whoever it is nuke Germany instead of Japan, because this is outbreak. But basically, you'll spawn in with 3 skulls as normal, and then you'll get more as the 3 lives that he has. You snipe him once, and then you'll get more. I'm sure they go up in odd numbers, but basically you do that repetitively. But the only other difference is what the zombies that he spawns in. So in first one there, he just spawns in normal zombies, and number 2 spawns in the skeletons, which are annoying little fuckers. And then he, on the third life here, spawns in one elite zombie, which is the Guardian one with the MG42, and he spawns in just a bunch of normal zombies. I'm sure that he spawns in skeletons as well. Annoying fuckers they are. But anyway, basically, he's the easiest, one of the easiest ones anyway. Because after you kill all the skulls, you snipe him, all the zombies die, so it's pretty simple. So as you see here, just before he goes and dies, because I don't know why he didn't die there, but we'll do this. On to our final boss, the Impaler or Adolf Hitler. I'm just going to show you the prologue cutscenes while I'm talking about him, and while you're talking. No, you're not talking, but you're watching my video. But anyway, the last boss you ever encounter in the game, Adolf Hitler and the Impaler. Now I'm just going to explain who the Impaler is and Hitler. Well, as you can see from the cutscenes, I'll show the cutscenes again at the very end because it kind of explains the story a wee bit. But the Impaler is basically this like prehistoric god type, very powerful figure that you find out. You don't actually know what he is. All you know is that he's like this really like god. He's kind of like a Greek god, but except he's German. Basically, Adolf Hitler and the Wehrmacht and the SS and the occult, the Nazi occult, which was actually a thing, they dig him up and they basically just like, yeah, alright, take him to me, we'll blah blah blah, we'll take him over here. At the very end of the game, where you defeat the Impaler and Adolf Hitler, or if you die, like literally 20 million times, like I did, until I eventually got the end of it, basically, where you kill Adolf Hitler and the Impaler is basically where they resurrected him, because basically it's the Hellmouth, which is basically, if the Hellmouth sounds anything like what it does, it's basically the gateway to hell. Basically they resurrect him at the gateway of hell, so basically the Impaler is the devil in a sense. But he takes the figure of whoever controls him, so for instance Adolf Hitler. But where you find Adolf Hitler is in the hell, where the Hellmouth is filled with the most evil people on the planet, and it's kind of like a, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's kind of like a metaphor. Adolf Hitler is the most powerful person. He's the most evil person, because you've got people like Genghis Khan. I've forgotten who else. There's like this lassie chick from Greece, from Rome. or is it Greek? Is it Greek goddess? I don't know who it is. You basically got like these bunch of other people, and you've got somebody from the French Revolution and all that. And it's kind of funny actually, because all the rooms are represented on either how they died or the last like known of them. Like Genghis Khan is basically this skeleton sitting on a throne underneath a tent, which was basically what he was. I'm sure he was like Asian, whatever. And then you've got the guy from the French Revolution who died from beheading, which is what you can do. You actually get a guillotine and you can actually chuck Adolf Hitler's zombie body after you, like not kill him, but like you can kick him down and you can just chuck him on top of it. But anyway, you can put him on it and it'll cut off all his limbs. He'll come back to life because in the final cutscene where you kill Adolf Hitler, he's just chucked down in there. But yeah, basically after you've sniped Adolf Hitler and you've destroyed the Impaler, you chuck him down the hole. You chuck the Saga Mata relic. So many times I tried to say that. It's that thing that is in his hand in this clip here. If I don't know if I'll show you again, but that's part of it. If I can see it, yeah, that brick thing. All three of them, they all go into like this, like triangular thing. Yeah, and this is there's the atomic cloud from when the Americans or the Allies basically bombed Berlin instead of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I'm presuming that's what happened because they're just like, yeah, we're going to put these experimental bombs down on the thingy, end the war. So I'm guessing that Japan surrendered. They don't really tell you about the Japanese and all that. They just tell you about the Allies. And they don't really tell you much about the Allies, but in chapter 3, which is the prologue for this one, for this chapter, or episodes as they call them, but anyway, it's chapters. Basically, you find the British and all that, but now I'm going to let you watch the cutscenes with sound, and then I'm going to talk about Adolf Hitler and the Impaler a wee bit more, alright?
My Führer. The war is lost. Surrender is our only option. The fatherland will not fall! Execute Plan Z! This was supposed to protect us!
But, my Führer, we needed all three of them.
The Book of Souls predicted my ascent. The Hellmouth illuminates the righteous struggle before us. We stand on the brink of eternal power! Deputies, it is your duty, your honorable sacrifice! We are determined and united! All will be reborn from the ashes of our purifying flame! We will be relentless! The fatherland will never fall!
Now that you've watched all the prologue cutscenes, and just while it's on my mind, I'm not going to get any of the smaller cutscenes, because one, they're pretty pointless, unless the final one where Hitler dies. I would go and get that, but really, my PlayStation never recorded it! Anyway. Yeah, never recorded it, so I can't show you that one, which is unfortunate, because it's actually quite a major plot point for the ending of Sniper Elite. So is the nuke getting dropped. That's quite an important one. But anyway, Hitler and the Impaler. Basically, how Hitler and the Impaler work is basically you collect 3 skeletons. The 3 skeletons represent 3 of the most evil people on the planet. It's the lassie from Rome, then it's I think it's some Italian guy, and then it's some European guy. You don't get Genghis Khan because he's sitting on his throne on the very bottom, being a little bit of a twit. He's like, oh, look at me while I'm all dead. But basically, Hitler is the ruler of them all, as he says. I quote, he says, the Providence has chosen me. I alone shall rule. Yes, that is what he says. Hashtag rate my Adolf Hitler, zombie Adolf Hitler voice skills. Anyway, don't really, I was just joking there, but basically how they work is you get the 3 skeletons, you chuck one in, and then you go into the next stage where you collect one of them. Then you'll basically, each time you'll break a door. I'll show you a picture of them, but basically you break doors to get them, and then you shoot the wee skulls like from the Occult General, which are over the doors. You shoot them. I don't think you do it for the first one. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've completed the game. Yeah, I'm sure you get it on the first one anyway. Anyway, that doesn't matter. You chuck one in, the Impaler goes down, you snipe Hitler in the head, and you do it for 3 times. You do it 3 times. Once you snipe Hitler the 3rd time, the Impaler comes back up, holds Hitler in his hands, he turns to stone, Hitler falls, survives miraculously, and either you can muck about with his body, like chuck him on top of a guillotine and chop all of his limbs off, or you can just take his body right then and there and just chuck it in the Hellmouth and destroy the gateway to hell. Yeah. After you've done that, you basically get out scot-free and you never think about Berlin ever again. Yeah. That's the end of the game. Yeah, really, that's it. To be fair, there's not much else to do. The only annoying thing is when trying to defeat Hitler is that you get a Guardian zombie, the MG42 one, and you just get a crap ton of other zombies. There is another Guardian zombie we could potentially call as the Guardian zombie. I don't really know if you want to. But basically, it's just a really tall zombie that's really bulky, that's got a lot of metal on him. They do it for the normal zombies as well. They make them look like Shrek. Like, you know, when Shrek wears the knight's armour, they basically make the zombies look like Shrek. It's kind of scary, to be fair. If Shrek had yellow eyes, that is. Yeah, anyway. Could talk about that, but it's just a normal zombie with armour plating. That's really all it is, nothing special. But yeah, you get a bunch of them, and you get a bunch of the kamikaze zombies as well, which I don't think I've talked about. Basically, I'll just talk about them now. I'll just show you a photo of them now, if I've got a photo of them. Basically, they are zombies that are strapped to the teeth with explosives. You can survive the explosion, I think, if I don't know what happens if they take out all their grenades, but basically they run with one. You know when they'll come because they'll shout like Nazi. They're like, yeah, Nazi, and then they'll start screaming and running with a grenade in their hand. You can shoot the grenade and it kills them, but either way, yeah, you get a plentiful supply of them. You can just swipe them with your foot and then they'll be gone, but you won't die from it. But if you get hit, then you'll die. Yeah. But basically, yeah. As I'm sidetracking now. I'm talking about Hitler and the Impaler. Yeah, basically, as I said, you just get the 3 skeletons, chuck them in, and you keep doing it. Once you chuck Hitler down the hellmouth, he dies, that's it. End of the game. Yeah. I think that about does it. Don't really know what else I could talk about. I know I should have thought about this. Shut up. Fine. Alright, I'll end it here. Alright, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I've already said subscribe. Fuck, I've already done it. No! Anyway, as I was going to try and say, like, subscribe, favourite, share it with your friends, and as always, I am GuyZombs. Adios.